everybody, welcome to a new Let's Play for Gamers with Jobs. I'm Shawn Andrich, and I'm joined here by Shawn Sands.
Hello.
And if you don't recognize this iconic-looking interface yet, this is Diablo III, the new expansion pack. Which what is it called? Reaper of Souls.
Reaper of Souls.
That sounds like every other Diablo game's subtitle. So I guess that's a new one.
They don't have to be creative. I mean, come on. It's just Diablo 3, an expansion, and I just still bought it.
So exactly, and I'm a little surprised I bought it, but then again, I'm not. So what's fun here is that I haven't played this new content yet at all. You, however, took the day off.
I did. So I have finished the Act 5, so it adds on a new act as part of this. So I finished that with my main wizard character, and then I created this Crusader guy right here, who's the new class, and now he's level 30. So that was my day. I did that.
Yeah, you sure did. You can just hear the bitterness.
Don't you judge me, damn it!
It's just the bitterness just dripping from my fangs. Is all that is. So I'm also incredibly just rusty with Diablo. I haven't really played since I finished the single player campaign, so I'm not totally reacquainted with my monk yet. I don't remember half of what he does or why he does it. And the funny thing, because this is a Blizzard expansion, so what that means is the first monster I killed, because we are at the very beginning of Act 5, drops like this armor that's twice as good as the armor I was wearing.
Because you have not played. You have not played since it first came out.
No, I haven't played. I haven't farmed. I have to imagine I represent the majority of players, which are just people who play the game, finish the campaign, and say like, "Yeah, I feel good about that. I'm satisfied," and stop. And then there's you, however, have like maxed out.
I have a max level character for all the character types. I've put hundreds easy of hours into this game.
Yeah, which is, I was trying to think about, because this is like one of those few areas where you and I are very different gamers and very different people. I think I'm like a meth user when it comes to games, and you're more like a long-term heroin addict.
Yeah, no, I start losing teeth.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game player I am.
I'm here for a buzz. I want a quick fix, and then I want to move on to something new. Maybe it's more like cocaine or speed, but nonetheless. So we were playing the expansion here. We've got our monk and crusader going. So how do you like the crusader so far? He's the new class. He's the new guy.
Yeah. So it was. It's turning out pretty fun. I didn't know if I was going to like it at first. But that's kind of the way it is all with new characters all the time. He's got some. I mean, he's a very physical, very in-your-face kind of fighter. But he's got this cool skills. One of my favorites is this one right here, which is. Let's find some bad guys. Okay, I'm gonna run over him with a horse. Yeah.
Wow, that looks so smooth and like just flows right in there, doesn't it?
Well.
So he has a ghost horse. That's good.
He has ghost horse, magic ghost horse.
Okay. What do you feed your ghost horse? I'm just curious.
I feed it monsters. I feed it loot. So any of the loot that I don't want, ghost horse gets.
Yeah, and I think I know loot's always been a Diablo thing. There's something about the way the Blizzard's built this, especially in subsequent patches since launch, that really. When everybody's talking about playing this game, okay, so that's like the finger of God you called in?
Yeah, basically.
When everybody in the forums is talking about this game, they're talking about, like, loot. They're talking about, I got this stuff, I'm getting better stuff.
That is this game. I mean, it's not here for the story, and it's not here for... I mean, basically, you're just clicking places on the screen, but, the loot's kind of what keeps you coming back.
So yeah, it's kind of like it is kind of an old school thing. I mean, it's very slick, but you'll notice how little we're paying attention to the story here. But
you can even just click right through it.
Yeah, it's it's a very slick delivery system, but it always does kind of remind me a bit of EverQuest in the sense that like EverQuest, ironically enough, didn't really have any quests when it first launched.
No, exactly.
It just had all you were doing was leveling up, so you could go to new areas to get new stuff. Which would enable you to then level up and go to new areas to get new stuff, and ad nauseum, and that's basically what this is too. Like, you're basically finishing the game, starting on higher difficulty, which gets you more stuff, lets you keep tweaking your character, and then push in and get further and further, and it's just kind of a treadmill. But I mean, to its credit, this is a pretty damn fun treadmill.
It's a fun treadmill, right? Exactly. And you can, I mean, there are rewards from a gameplay perspective to going down that treadmill. It's not just the pretty numbers, but you do start to get to do more difficult stuff that you couldn't do before. You just have to care about that.
Yes. Now, is that the big bad guy, or is
No.
that's a sub bad guy?
That's a sub bad guy. Now, one of the things I thought was pretty cool about Reaper of Souls here is the presentation. I think is better. Like the level design's really interesting. There's a lot more little events and in-game cutscenes that are in the expansion. It just feels, I mean, it kind of in typical Blizzard fashion, they've taken what they know how to do well and then just amped it up from there. So they know what works in Diablo 3. They've taken the time to get all the bugs and annoying stuff figured out. And this really is just an expansion about taking the things that they know people like to do and making that sort of the centerpiece.
You know, yeah, which you're right, is very much a typical Blizzard way to approach things, and it obviously works well for them. Diablo 3 sold incredibly well.
I think 15 million when it's all said and done.
I want to
not including the console.
Right, of course. And do we know if that outselling Diablo 1 or Diablo 2?
Not Diablo 2. Diablo 2 sold tens of millions. I don't know about Diablo 1.
Yeah, Diablo 2 is kind of a freak.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now we're coming up on one of the first events here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the people like telling me how I'm playing my monk like incredibly wrong in every way, shape, and form.
It's not really like that though. There's no. It's not like an MMO in some ways where it is okay. You have this ideal setup for that you always like. I mean, there are obviously people who have particular setups, but even I will go in and just sort of dink around and play with the different options and play with the different skills and see how they mix together. So it's not really like that sense of, oh, I'm not doing this right.
Right. Tell me a little bit about the adventure mode, because that's kind of a new one. Like a lot of people say, play the game through, finish it, and then play an adventure mode. What is adventure mode?
I only just got access to adventure mode, so
okay, you actually have to unlock it then.
Yeah, you do have to finish this act before you have access to it. So I really haven't gotten to play with it much. I know a lot of people in the guild have been having an amazing time with it. Again, keeping in mind these are people who probably have spent a lot more time just grinding in the traditional areas. So, for lack of a better term, anything that's new and different, even slightly, is going to be an improvement. But no, I haven't tried that yet. That's something I'm looking forward to trying out.
Slow the Nephilim down so that the collection of souls is not interrupted. It is the key to Malthael's victory.
Boy, this story though, huh?
I know. Just so exciting.
I know only that he is not in Westmarch. Is there a way to find out?
But if you look around just at the detail in the artwork of the church here, I mean, this is pretty consistent throughout this act too. I would say, even if I'm looking at the other acts, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, from the original pre-expansion game, the detail level and just the artwork and the world design for this act is really, really impressive throughout.
Yeah, you remember when people were like just terrified before it came out about how like it was all going to be colorful and rainbows and unicorns and bright, and it kind of is, but not,
No, it's dark. I mean, there's lots of dead bodies. There are a lot of dead bodies just hanging around. And,
but they're so cute and fuzzy looking, like
they're a little adorable.
But it's like candles and bodies and like because somebody lights all these candles, who knows why. It's just. I'm always surprised they don't work that into the lore. Why there's so many fucking candles everywhere.
Well, I mean, it's pre-industrial. You gotta have light somehow.
destroy them.
Okay, so there's people here, Soulstone.
Yeah, this is
Sliver.
the new town. This is sort of the central hub place of
Yes.
this act. So if you come into the middle here, you'll see all your, characters and your blacksmith and jeweler and all that. So.
Yeah, it's funny they don't do the exclamation point. They decided to go with the little stars.
And those stars just mean that they have. If you want to hear more about the story, you can talk to them and they'll tell you something. The stars are completely optional. I
gotcha.
If you really want to get into that Diablo 3 story, that's your way.
And that's the thing, because we would kind of, when Diablo 3 came out, like one of the knocks we would have is just that it's just so dumb. Like it's so, but at the same time, I think that there's this expectation like games are going to grow up with me and my tastes. But it's like Diablo has always been aimed at like melodramatic teenage fiction.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is. It's like it's death and you're fighting death and he has Diablo's soul now, and it's just so
frankly,
broad
I
strokes.
wouldn't want it any other way.
Sure.
I don't get the knocks on Diablo 3's story in the sense of expecting more. I get it in the sense of it's silly and trite and kind of black and white, and sometimes the writing's hit or miss, but that's okay. They actually put in an option in the options menu in this most recent patch that says auto skip all like cutscenes and dialogues and everything.
Yeah. So
they know.
They know what's going on. They know the deal. So I just equipped. I'm really trying not to like get stuck into my inventory for too long, because that's really boring to watch, and people are again going to be commenting on my horrible choice and what I'm equipping. But like I'm just looking, like I got a couple of fist weapons I just picked up I think along the way here, and they're already much better than what I had before. So
well, let me look. You can actually right click on the shield up there, and you can inspect the other player. So
okay.
Yeah.
Inspect. Show me your stuff. Let me see.
Well, let's see this stuff.
Let's see what you're working with.
So, I have some green stuff and some orange stuff that you don't have. Is to be sort of expected. Yeah. A lot of this stuff, like this chest, the green chest and the green shoulders, are actually a crafting option. They've added a lot of craft over the years. 2.5 years since it launched, and now also with this expansion they've added a ton of options as far as crafting and enhancing your options for your own loot. They added a mystic into this expansion that allows you to re-roll stats on some of your equipment for a
good.
price.
So a little soupçon of gambling in there. That's nice.
Exactly. Keep it going. There's been a lot of expansion in that area.
The Angiris Council has finally agreed to send me in search of
look at you flail around. Good for you.
That's pretty much what I'd be. This is actually pretty accurate. It's pretty much what I'd be doing if if I was actually in this. I'd just be flailing around. Probably wouldn't look as cool though.
Has suggested I begin my search on Sanctuary.
So what made you buy it? Just had to be part of it.
But got to be part of it. Keep up with the Joneses. But I will say, well and truthfully, a big draw in buying it is that that chat window you see at the bottom left-hand corner.
Absolutely.
Because they've that's there even if you don't buy the expansion, but. If you join the Gamers with Jobs Guild, you can actually chat with everybody in the guild, whether you're in their game or not, just like you would in an MMO guild. So all of a sudden, even when you're playing alone, you're not alone. Like you're chatting with people, you're talking, you're comparing weapons and items, you're joining each other, and they've made this really easy to jump in and out of stuff. I mean. And boy, you remember the bitching when this came out and the online only, and it's just a load of shit, just try to control piracy and it's not useful for anything. It feels like this is actually finally useful. I don't think there's still not an offline mode, right?
No, there's not.
This doesn't excuse the lack of offline mode. I still don't. There should be no reason why somebody can't buy this game, install it, and play single player all the way through. Without going on the internet. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, SimCity just finally, big press release. I loved it. I got it in my email. It's like SimCity, just like you wanted, offline mode. And it's just like, really? Now? You said it was literally impossible to do based on the design, you know.
Too little, too late.
Yeah,
but
it's
at
way
least
too little, too late.
To your point, at least now what we have is, you know, a closer implementation of what you hope they're going to do if they're going to make it be online only, which is a lot of accessibility. You know, there are not lots of key little features, and I know you turn some of them off, but like when you're somebody in your guild gets a legendary and they ID it, it'll actually pop up in the guild chat and show you the item they just got in the stats on it and stuff like that. There's a lot of guild features that are just really, really solid as far as making it easy to manage the guild. You know, you can have different levels and different permissions, and you know, it just really it makes the game more fun to have that chat going on down there.
Yeah, totally. Oh, those rats are like floating on the ground. That's interesting. Yeah, and I think I feel better about a lot of that stuff. You know, a lot of that sort of like tricky Blizzard stuff that's like really kind of there to, you know, just like Hearthstone, you know, really kind of tickle certain lizard parts of your brain to really get you into it. I feel a lot better about that stuff now that the Real Money Auction House is gone. You know, because I feel like we're back to some level of, I guess you could call it purity, where it's like you're not inserting a bunch of like real cash flying around, like commoditizing a lot of, you know, fun video game stuff. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is there any like, other than buying the expansion, is there any way to spend money, like real cash in Diablo?
No.
At this point, they've totally cut it out, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, it's not only the real money, but also the in-game fake gold money is also gone, which is actually, in the long run, having played this for a while, that was the bigger issue. The Real Money Auction House, I'm sure there were people using it for a while, but it ran its course pretty early on.
Yeah.
But the managing of the gold auction house, just to make that mechanic work, they had to do a loot in such a way that it wasn't very fun. So, I mean, they had a good reason for shutting it down. I'm glad to see it go.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. And now, one thing though, players cannot trade items at all, right?
Not items that they got on their own. Now, if you and I say we fought a boss later on and a legendary or something like that dropped for me, I believe there's a timer where I can give it to you in the game, because you and I were both in the game at the same time. But other than that, no.
Okay, I have to jettison some stuff.
Okay.
I can't pick anything else up anymore. Let's see. So if I drop like that Gladius of Stagnation,
I see that. Yes,
you could pick that up?
Yep.
Okay, so there is not official trading, but there is. So we're back to Diablo 2.
But like I mean, and you can't see this. If I throw, you can't see what I just threw on the ground, right? Or can you?
I can see it, but I can't pick it up.
Okay, yeah. So that's an example. That's one that I created or got on my own in a different game, so you can't actually access it.
Oh, understood. Okay, so like this Magic Two-Handed Sword, I didn't know where that came up from, but
no, I can get that. That's probably older.
That's probably from that.
Yeah, it's anything that's been after the Loot 2.0 patch, which was about a month ago. That's where it really started locking it down.
Gotcha. Yeah, because so they've really locked that down. So that was kind of a real sort of you know, side industry in Diablo 2. You know, you'd actually go to like you go to like internet seedy back alleys, say like, you know, somebody would be like, oh, I got what you need, and then you'd meet them in a game,
right?
And you drop, you know, your in-game gold, or God forbid, you'd PayPal them cash, and then, you know, you'd hear all these stories about people dropping money, and then the other person like dropping like a wooden club, picking up the money and logging out. Or of course, you know, taking your money over the internet and then not delivering on their promises.
And I mean, I think that is why you can't trade. They really did from the very start want to make it so that that sort of way of handling transactions was not possible.
Right.
And so
and,
even
yeah.
though they've gotten rid of what they had been doing, they haven't put a system in that allows that to come back. They don't
Right.
want that back.
And their credibility in doing so is a little better now that there's no Real Money Auction House, because I think
so.
The Real Money Auction House was a real response to that. Like, why are we not getting a cut of this?
Yeah.
You know, sweet action. So, you know, I would love someday. I'm sure I'll never see it, but I'd love to see the books on what that Real Money Auction House actually ended up.
God, can you imagine?
Because,
they definitely made money off of it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much, because you know there's no flipping way Activision would say, you know what, let's just go ahead and shut it down. If it was like making League of Legends style cash,
Yeah,
like there's no way.
It definitely wasn't doing that, and I mean you have to assume it was on a downward trend. But
Yeah.
I think that's why. I mean, they announced back in October of last year that they
Yeah.
were getting rid of it, and they didn't get rid of it till March. So I don't think that's because it wasn't making any money.
Yeah. All right, another quest done.
See,
Yeah.
that's sort of what I'm talking about. There are lots of these little side events that
Yeah.
kind of keep things moving and, I mean, give you some benefit. So you probably got some kind of drop out of that, or you get a good amount of experience. The expansion does a good job of moving along at a fairly quick pace. Now, I will say, for my level 60, it got shockingly hard, shockingly fast.
Oh, really? What difficulty did you play at?
So I had been playing in the. I mean, they changed up the difficulty levels now in the recent patch. But I had been playing at what was called Torment 2. So it was the last difficulty level, and you can scale that level up, I think, 5 or 6 times.
Sure.
And the higher you go, more loot, more experience, that sort of stuff. That is what I'd been playing on in the game before the expansion, was that Torment 2 level.
Mm-hmm.
I had to drop it down by the end 4 levels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like down to Torment 1, and then down to Master, and then down to Expert. It just the way this game scales, particularly at the higher levels, I have no idea where we're going. Let's go this way.
Yeah, well, here's an alley we didn't hit. Just over here, you can go up here, some stuff maybe.
It got really
okay,
hard.
there we go.
I probably spent a good hour. Oh, let's kill these things. Yeah. I probably spent a good hour on the final boss.
Oh, really?
He killed me at least 5 times. And so, I mean, when I say an hour, I mean those attempts as well. When I finally cleared it, it was a good 15-minute fight. So it gets, but I don't think that's bad either. I mean, it was a little frustrating at the time, but
Oh, sure. And you soloed the whole thing, or did you play with people?
no, I soloed it. So,
Right.
I'm okay with that too, now that it was achievable, because one of the fears was that Diablo had really gotten kind of easy. In the start, it was on the higher levels almost criminally hard, and they've been toning it back and toning it back and toning it back.
Ooh. Sorry, let me just take
what'd
a
you get?
moment with my magic helm. 132 armor, not plus 98 dexterity, and regenerates 39 life per second, versus my 66 armor plus 29 dexterity thing. So there. Oh yeah, boy, I
Look at you.
I'm looking like a court jester. I got little
It's
wobbly bits. Now,
little embarrassing.
beyond like just improving the art a bit, do you feel like the graphics have changed?
No.
Is it seem more animated or more physics-y?
No, it doesn't.
It seems pretty samey.
I mean, I think when I talk about the visuals, I'm really talking about the world design and just the way they've laid out the levels and the little flair that they put into it.
Yeah.
But no, as far as the fundamental game, it still basically looks the same.
Yeah.
Now, also, I mentioned earlier about the Mystic that allows you to re-roll stats.
Yep.
It also has a transmogrify where you can actually change the way your equipment appears. So if you have 4 really different pieces of armor that you like the stats but they look terrible together or something, like there's nothing down here, you can actually change them to look a specific way
Okay.
using the full range of, I guess, artwork available.
Gotcha. Do you have your wings for your Crusader? Do you have like the wings you got for pre-ordering? Or did you dump them because they take up room in your inventory?
I don't think I got wings. I didn't get the special version. I got the regular version. And I think that was part of the collector's edition.
I got wings for like pre-ordering. I just got the regular version like yesterday.
No, I don't. I have. No, I don't have those.
Yeah.
I have these wings from StarCraft 2, but that's a different thing.
What color are they?
Well, no, they're just. I'm wearing them.
Oh, I don't see you. I thought you disappeared. It said you went back to town.
Oh, where are you?
I'm in town. I town portal. It said you left. Like it said you went.
I did. I was just getting my wings. Hang on.
You were getting your wing. Wow, that was quick. You're just like, just grab. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, you got those wings. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder if I could. Oh, there's a stash. Maybe I've got wings in there. Let me have a look.
Let's check out those wings.
Let's see those wings. I don't know. I don't know why I've got this 24 damage magic fist weapon. What was I gonna? Why did I keep that?
At the time, it probably seemed good.
Oh god, yeah. Ledger, papers, a rare Daibo. There must have been some nostalgia there at play. Like, the stuff's got dust on it. This is like, yeah.
You're not the only one, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot of people coming back saying, what do I do in this game again?
There's like a Dave, hold on a second. Yeah, there's like one Dave Matthews album here, a couple Matchbox 20 albums. Just like a lot of old shit like I've probably long since downloaded anyway. I don't know why I kept those.
Why is my yearbook in my stash? That's so weird. Why is my letter jacket in there? That's odd. I'm just going to put it on for old time's sake.
Okay, I'm just gonna sell some stuff here. I won't be too I'm gonna indiscriminately sell because I'm sure most of the stuff I'll run into better stuff almost immediately.
One of the things that it's been added a while back, but you don't actually have to use your own town portal to get back. When you're in town, if you click on the flag that represents me, it'll take you right to me.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's useful. It's a nice little something.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice little thing. It feels like I feel like the Torchlight 2 did some stuff like that as well.
I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel? Is there something about Diablo? Because I get the sense you didn't play Torchlight nearly as much as you played this.
I don't know. I didn't play. I finished Torchlight 2. But I don't know. There's just something about Diablo that I like better. And I can't put my finger on it. I mean, there's also Path of Exile out there, which, is sort of the independent answer to Diablo. And a lot of people really, really love it. And it has a very strong Diablo 2 sort of sensibility. But I played it a bit, and I just came back to this game every time. So I don't know. I like the... there's something very weighty. There's something very mighty about the way your character feels when he's going through the world. The sound design in this game always has been, and it remains incredible. When you're hitting stuff, or casting magic, or doing whatever, or even just kind of going to town when the town portal comes up, it kind of goes shoof. It's like, all right, let's go to town, I am ready. Let's do this.
Okay,
that's what it's always done for me.
Teleport 2-player.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Yeah, those wings are so gross.
All right. I think we're coming up on a boss segment here.
All right, cool. So let's do this boss segment. We'll wrap this one up. We could always do another part later.
Yeah.
Far too many of them.
All right, so...
I remember these guys from the opening of the Act 1.
Yeah, there's a little bit of repetition. There's some later in the expansion. There's some pretty familiar enemies, but for the most part, I'm impressed by how many different enemies there are. So, they didn't reuse a ton of stuff.
Sure. Okay, yeah, this looks important.
Yeah. So we got to kill all these piles. Right?
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Just did a similar thing in Infamous 2, or in Infamous Second Son yesterday in a boss fight. Kill all the guys, sending beams at the main guy. Man, you know, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I really hope no one said anything. Yeah, I'm definitely playing at a different, like the difficulty's not tough. I think that we're still playing on
No,
normal,
you're on normal. No, this is the basic.
Yeah.
This is just for fun.
Yeah, this is like so I can talk and I'm not dying constantly. Massacre! Look at all these bodies. This is disgusting.
And then later over here, when you click on this corpse pile, it takes you to the next part. But
A writhing corpse pile.
mm-hmm.
You know, I actually called it a writhing corpse pile before I put my mouse
Did you
over
really?
it. And it says writhing corpse pile. So that's gross. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, hello. All right, I take it back. Not so disgusting after all. Hello, Miriam. All right, well, thanks very much for watching our Let's Play of Diablo 3, Reaper of Sins,
Souls,
Scythes, Reaper of Souls, Reaper of Gothic teenage stuff. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to see more from Gamers with Jobs, go to gamerswithjobs.com, where, of course, you can check out this channel and like, favorite, subscribe. I don't remember what people tell you to do when you watch YouTube, so I'm not very good at it.
Do you poke?
Yeah, poke us. Poke us on YouTube.
Poke it gently.
Yeah, poke this video a few times. We'd appreciate it. In the meantime, Shawn Sands, thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you.
And we will see